Okay, so I went ahead and labeled each of these categories with an abbreviation. Those are the same abbreviations that are used down here. Our first two examples are review. So this first example says the probability of B. B is a probability of biology. And so there's no limits, no changes to how we're asking that question. So it's going to be the same as we've done before. The probability of me randomly selecting a student who is taking biology would be, in this case, 26 students, since there's a total of 26 enrolled. That goes on top. Over 80, because there are 80 students that were surveyed for this particular table. And then as I put that into a calculator, or I do my math, I can find that it's going to reduce down to 13 over 40, which is equal to 325 thousandths, or 32.5%. Example B is also review. This one says the probability of M and B. Remember, this is our intersection, so that stands for and. And so we're looking for the probability of a male student who is taking biology. And in this case, we're told in the table that there are 8 students who meet both criteria, so that would be our numerator. And there are 80 students that were surveyed, so that would be our denominator. And so 8 over 80 is going to reduce down to 1/10, dividing both top and bottom by 8. And 1/10 is equal to 0.1, also read as 1/10, and that is equal to 10%. This time we're going to try a conditional. So we have a condition here. I'm going to write this in words just as a reminder. It says the probability of M with that little funny line, and then B, that is male given biology. And so the condition here is always going to be what comes after the word given. And so we're looking at only people who are taking biology class. So if we were doing this in class, I would get out a popsicle stick and I would cover up the part of the table we don't worry about, but I'm going to use my big giant oops eraser instead, and I'm going to cover up this part of the table because we're only looking at biology students. And so that's the only information that we're going to draw from. Now within that category, there are still 26 students. That's now the total number of students I can draw from, so it becomes my denominator. And of the 26 students who are in that column, I only want to look at the males. So the males in that column total 8. And so my answer here would be 8 out of 26, and 8 out of 26 will give us a reduced fraction, dividing by 2, of 4/13. And when I put 4/13 into my calculator to give me a decimal equivalent, I'm going to get a kind of an ugly number, so we'll estimate it to the nearest thousandth, it's 0.308, or 30.8%. All right, think about that for a minute and try example D. I'll be back with you in just a second. Pause it right here. Okay, so the second question had the probability of C given F, that is chemistry given females. Again, the condition here is that we only want to look at the girls who answered the survey question, so my denominator is 47. I moved my eraser so it was only showing me that part of the table. Makes it just a little bit easier to follow along with what's going on there. In this row, we are looking specifically for the students enrolled in chemistry, so my numerator is 15. And so you'll see my fraction is 15 chemistry students in the group of 47 girls. All right, I'm not going to walk you through this one. Try E, and then I'm going to unpause it and give you the answer here in just a minute. Okay, here's the answer for example E. We should have 6 over 21. 6 over 21 will reduce, dividing both top and bottom by 3. 6 divided by 3, of course, is 2. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So our answer will be 2/7. You'll notice I'm not giving you decimals and fraction equivalents at the moment. I'm sorry, decimal and percentage equivalents, because I want to focus more on how do we write the fraction. This one told us to look for males assuming we were looking at chemistry students. So we were only drawing out of the column, the vertical column, that had chemistry students in it. The next page is going to be yours to do on your own, but I'll include answers to that in the next video.